fellow comrades, ladies and gentlemen of the press, and all of us here. I have been invited to speak about 2 or 3 things, but I'll begin by supplementing the communication of our chairperson of the fundraising committee, the Honorable Ronald Barimwezo, who is doing a commendable job together with his team, and they deserve a hand clap. I want to thank each and everyone who has contributed to this effort. When we launched this fundraising campaign, we informed the nation that we are doing this in preparation for the campaigns, which I would say have already started, much as the official campaigns are yet to start, because campaigns begin with preparation. And to add on what he has communicated, our target from this exercise is 9 billion Uganda shillings. And if you look at the statistics of the previous campaigns, for example, the report from ACFIM, it indicated that the NRM candidate Museveni, spent approximately 900 billion. Now, when you look at our target of 9 billion, it is 1% of what the other person spent. But our model of politics is different, because ours does not involve bribery, does not involve buying votes and things of that nature, and there is no corruption in our party as compared to theirs. So for us, even with the minimum, if we get 9 billion, we'll be able to run a campaign like never before. So we appeal to the people of Uganda, here and abroad, to support this effort. We are able to finance our campaign and be part of that change that we are talking about. When we are launching, I mentioned that we don't want tomorrow anybody to say, Twarwana. It should be all the people of Uganda saying, Twakorachi, Twarwana. So, ladies and gentlemen, Waiso has introduced me, and rightly so, as the Vice Chairperson of the National Consultative Forum. The National Consultative Forum is the platform that brings together all the political parties in Uganda. And you have heard people talk about dialogue, you have heard people talk about tolerance and discussions about the politics and future of this country. This is the institution where such discussions take place. And I'm Vice Chairperson in exercise of the mandate by the National Unity Platform. This is evidence that all that gossip, all that idle talk from our detractors, that the National Unity Platform does not want to engage in meaningful dialogue with other actors in the country, is empty and false and should be shunned. Number 2, there has also been a discussion about Ipod, membership of Ipod or non-membership of Ipod. Ladies and gentlemen, before, I think last few weeks, Ipod was an NGO. But some mischievous people, because they thought they would compel National Unity Platform to do certain things, went on a mischievous mission of making Ipod an institution of the state of Uganda, and they amended the Political Parties and Organizations Act. But in doing so, they were not very smart. They thought they would compare us to belong to some organization. They didn't know that we are not just in the National Consultative Forum, but we are already the leadership of the National Consultative Forum. So Ipod now is a department in National Consultative Forum. Like if you have a school and a new department is introduced, it doesn't mean that the school has been taken away. So the National Consultative Forum now is being rebranded to say that the parties that are represented in Parliament will be meeting here, and a department called Ipod, and the parties that are not represented in parliament are meeting in a different department. So I thought that as the vice chairperson of the National Consultative Forum, I should explain this. Number two is the question of public funding of political parties. I think you have had a lot of idle talk from especially the NRM propaganda machinery that NUP does not want to participate in Ipod activities but picks Ipod money. Ladies and gentlemen, the funding that NUP receives from the state coffers as a creation of the law has got nothing to do with that NGO that people have been meeting in. Number two is that public funding of political parties was not born in Uganda. It has been in existence for very many years ago. In fact, in some countries like America, the conversation started in 1907. Today, public funding of political parties is practiced globally in over 100 countries. But in those none of those countries is funding of political parties tagged to going for meetings and taking pictures with the head of state. Because if there is meaningful discussion and dialogue, you do not need to compel people to come and meet with you. But because they feel that on account of their conduct, meeting with them, interacting with them has become so shameful that they must force people to go and talk with them. So this new creation of comparing people has got nothing to do with the public, but it's just a mischievous scheme to compare us, to go and engage in conversations with them. But like the young people say, basanze tukolachi tulaba. Now Ipod is a department of the National Consultative Forum. And I have mentioned that NUP, which I represent in that forum, is currently the vice chairperson of that forum. So we have a duty to continuously, as NUP, teach those mischievous people that you don't build a country by using underhand methods. But we know that their objective and mission is never to build the country, but to extend their patronage system. But we have a duty then to give this information to the people of Uganda so that they can be able to challenge those lies that are being peddled by the propaganda machinery of the regime. Why swayansabye nti bino nabyo byogere mu Uganda. Kati simanya ani ayagala kumpa max ezokwogera Oluganda naye wali swajja kunsasula byogera bulungi. Mr. President, n'abakulembeze baffe,